And so 1,000 years ago, what was she doing? I'm just curious. Like, what would the average wife do?
All kinds of things. I mean, you can look at scripture in the Bible, not to get religious about it, but there's all kinds of stuff in Proverbs 31 about duties of wives, and they had to make money for the family. They had to do all kinds of responsibilities. Women, we didn't have a push button world. I mean, it was rough, and your lives were short and hard, and women had to put their shoulder to the wheel just like men. And romantic chivalry dictated, oh, woman's shoulder to the wheel. No, not to my wife.
Oh, because he's serving her now.
Yes.
Right.
It's his shoulder that belongs on the wheel, not hers.
Not both of you. Because really traditionalism is about the family. So you'd be working for the family. And now he's working for the family, not both of you together.
The real traditionalism, the traditionalism that came from, 200,000 years of human existence that led through the Middle Ages up to the point that we got romantic chivalry, the tradition was two working, obligated, responsible people. Mm-hmm. Romantic chivalry flipped that completely and gave women basically time to think of things to complain about.
That's true.
And they did.
Yeah, they did.
and they still are.
That's why they say that idle mind is the devil's playground. I think that's what's happened to us, is we just have too much time, so we just have time to complain. There's never a plan. Even there's this women's leadership conference, and I tweeted, I said, conservative women aren't conservative. Why do you think women should lead? And
did you get a straight answer?
Yeah, well, they said, we're speaking out about IVF, about, child daycare, and I'm like, well, speaking out isn't a plan. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong per se, but I'm like, plan anything? But that's all we do. We just complain.
Speaking out is a plan when you've actually got something to say.
Yeah.
I think that speaking about men's issues out loud is a plan because you're disrupting the narrative, you're making people think, and it is persuading them. It's actually changing minds. Girl power. Whose mind is girl power going to change?
Well,
I mean, what provocative, cutting edge social change is there for girl power or women in leadership? Red pill women, now that would be speaking to effect and to purpose, which is what you do. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And yes, I get called a simp every once in a while because I support your work. That's okay. I can handle it, guys. Call me a simp.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I think most conservative women aren't really conservative because they don't talk about what they're conserving. And if you're really going to go back to what the Bible teaches, it's obedience to your husband in all things. And those are the same women that say, I can only be obedient to him if he's obedient to God. Well, who dictates that? It's always the woman.
And she decides whether he's obedient to God, of course.
So I define the red pill as men getting together and sharing notes on sexual and dating strategy. Do you agree with that description, or do you think the red pill is more than sexual and dating strategy?
I think it's been convoluted by the PUA community. Originally, the red pill was about more MGTOW type stuff. I think you've got guys out there. Rolo was one of them that turns it into how to.
My biggest fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mine too. Rolo's great about telling guys how to stay on a hamster wheel to keep their wife.
Is that how you view it? Like a hamster wheel?
I think the whole thing of romantic chivalry puts men on a hamster wheel.
Because that's still trying to appease her.
Which makes Rolo about as red pill as your average feminist, in my book.
Okay.
Not red pill, but just another way to repackage chivalry and sort of throw in some red pill jargon. But ultimately, it's about you're going to maintain her attraction to you for 50 years, and she's always going to be thirsty for you. And that sort of it's like, remember the old ads were on the back of comic books where a guy gets sand kicked in his face on the beach and he sends off with a He-Man packet and Next scene in the cartoon, he's muscled up, kicking sand in the guy's face, he's getting his revenge. That's Rollo's work to me. It's not red pill.
And it's because it's still it's still appeasing romantic chivalry.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of it uses PUA type stuff. I think the way he would view it is it's like a tool set, right?
Probably, yeah.
But you would say that it's like a bad tool set, or what do you?
I think it's a terrible tool. Life on a hamster wheel is stupid.
Okay.
It's a stupid way to go. It's just not very bright.
Because you're always trying to appease the women. You're
people pleasing, and you're behaving, trying to get somebody else to care about you. And if you got to get on a hamster wheel to feel cared about, I would just challenge any guy to think about that for a little bit if that's what he really wants. I think the red pill now and always was about self-discovery. Who am I away from women? You know, what are my values? Am I going to live by them? That sort of thing. And having the courage and the information to assert that in life, to tell people, you know something, I don't rescue women from their own mistakes. I don't believe you should. I think they need to face consequences for what they do, because that's their only hope of learning anything. And separating yourself from the whole gynocentric romantic chivalry claptrap that people find themselves in. I don't think it's about dating strategy. Men have been doing dating strategy, forever. All men have different strategies trying to get women to like them. If your idea of red pill is trying to get a woman in bed, I think you're missing the point of the red pill entirely. Your blue pill, when you're, what hoops do I jump through to get her to like me? That's very blue pill. How about liking yourself? And if she does, great. And if she doesn't, you can go next.
Right. Huh. I've never thought about it like that. That's really interesting. Because, wow, I've never thought about how that ties into romantic chivalry. That's like a really good point, because it goes back to the romantic model instead of, what would you say, like, because I guess my question would be, what are guys supposed to do in a way? Because they still have to date in this modern age, you know? It's not like, you know.
Well, a lot of them aren't.
Well, I guess arranged marriages aren't coming back. So if a guy wants like a relationship with women, like what is he?
Well, I think he's good if he approaches relationships with women as I say ABS, always be screening. If the attitude is, how do I get next to women that are decent, instead of how do I get next to a woman who will have sex with me?
Okay.
Which is most guys, I mean, true to the cliche, they're like, oh man, she's hot. She's got a nice ass. I want to get her in bed. What do I need to say? Where do I spend my money?
Yeah.
What do I do? And of course, that is simping. That it's romantic chivalry in practice. He's already gearing up to be on his knee with a diamond in his hand by approaching the relationship like that to begin with. I just say, man, focus on your self-respect. Find out who you are. There will be somebody out there. I believe that, and call me idealistic. I found somebody. I think anybody can, but you have to close the door on bullshit, this romantic chivalry. And there are women out there that are open to the message. How many times have you heard a woman say, that guy bought me dinner and then he thought I owed him sex?
Yeah.
Well, pay for your own dinner. Then you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You've got an asshole like that on every corner.
Yeah.
Those guys are real. They exist. So don't let them buy your dinner.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to accept dinner. You can just suggest like coffee or something cheap, you know?
or anything. Or you can suggest sex.
Okay.
And that's okay. But no, I really think this whole thing, men are visually oriented. They see a woman, and then the gears start turning. And they're all about romantic chivalry, even when the guy's totally unconscious of it. How do I please her? How do I make her happy? I got to be the right thing. You get lost i- doing that. I hear women all the time saying, I lost myself in a relationship. And I'm like, bullshit. Men lose themselves in relationships
Right.
and they end up lonely and devastated. And when she leaves, their lives are the most empty thing in the world.
Well, why would you want to be with a guy that lets you act anyway and
They
wouldn't
don't. They
leave?
lose
Yeah.
respect for those
Yeah.
guys. It's enjoyable at first. It's really enjoyable while there's infatuation going on. There's a flood of oxytocin and other neurochemicals that make a person feel good. That behavior feels great then to both people.
Mm-hmm.
But that neurochemical flood subsides
Mm,
and goes away. And then you're left with, I'm jumping through hoops.
right.